Welcome back to another episode of Drinks with Danny and Joe.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Joe.
And you may hear a little noise in the background. Waylon is cleaning litter boxes. So kind of hard to keep that on the quieter side, I guess.
I think it could be done.
Maybe
not by that particular human being, but some could be quiet about it.
Yes, but it's...
Not all.
You may hear it, because I heard it.
Yeah.
As we were introducing.
Yeah.
All right,
so in this episode, we are drinking Pennsylvania Dutch caffeine-free Birch beer made from old Pennsylvania Dutch recipe.
I've never had Birch beer before.
So I used to get it when I was younger and we would go camping. They had Birch beer in the soda machine at this campground, I think in Massachusetts, maybe in Connecticut, called Nelson's Family Campground.
Okay.
So that campground had like a rec room that they would do dances in. So they would have dances like on Saturday nights. They would have like a DJ and it was a good time. And then they had, I want to say they had a pool table. They had like a store where you could buy candy and ices and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. And
then they had a soda machine and a jukebox. And the jukebox had Beastie Boys on it. And it was the first time I ever heard Beastie Boys. And it was, you gotta fight for your right to party. And we listened to that a lot.
It's funny that you bring that up. So recently, Brass Monkey was playing... No. There was a song playing on my computer at work. Mm-hmm. And one of the providers was talking to his MA and said something about Brass Monkey. And I was like, Beastie Boys. And we kind of talked a little bit about Beastie Boys. And she did not know that song.
Oh, you gotta fight for your right to party?
Yeah, or Brass Monkey, both.
Okay.
Well, you didn't let me get there. So I played her the Brass Monkey because I was like, Brass Monkey.
That funky monkey.
Yeah. Brass Monkey, Chunky, the funky monkey. And she's just like, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. And then we're like, yeah, I think he said something about fight for your right to party. It's like one of their most, I'd say probably one of their most popular songs.
It definitely was at the time it came out.
Yeah.
Like that was the song that they were known for in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but it was just, okay, and to be fair, I think she's like...
Is this the same one that
8 years younger than me? No, that was a doctor. That was one of the providers.
It was a different person.
No, this is an MA.
Okay.
She did not know the songs, and we're just looking at her like, "How do you not know them?" She goes, "Well, they're not from my generation, so I don't know them." And then I was like, "Okay, but have you heard any songs from the Beatles?" She goes, "Yeah," and the provider goes, "Yeah, they're from the '60s." Yeah. Which is also not your generation. Yeah. But it was just funny because we literally introduced her to Brass Monkey and the right to party.
Yeah, so she
fight for the right to party. She's
too young for it or too old for it?
Too young is what because she's like, I think she's like 8 or 9 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. So I think she
never crossed her.
Just plate. Never crossed her.
Which
music.
Is crazy, because
I know.
It's the Beastie Boys.
Well, and it's like, didn't your parents listen to it?
Yeah.
Like, my parents did. That's how I learned about it, you know?
No, because my parents probably still have not heard of the Beastie Boys.
Oh.
Like, not everybody's parents listen to music that you would listen to.
Oh. I grew up, my parents' music. Michael Jackson, MC Hammer... Metallica.
I listened to all
Nirvana.
That. I listened to that music. My parents were like Simon and Garfunkel, the Beatles, James Taylor, Santana.
Oh, well, yeah.
Billy Joel. Like
we had some of those, but my dad was more like when we would do stuff. My dad was more hard rock, and then which now is called the oldies.
Yeah.
And my mom was more kind of like. We would always clean Friday nights. Mm-hmm. Like that was my dad would be at work. So me and my sister and my mom, we would always clean Friday nights and we would blast music, but it was like top 40s type music, like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears. Mm-hmm. You know, we would blast it throughout the house and we would just sing it.
Yeah.
And clean.
See, we never did any of that.
Oh, it was...
My mom, like, she had records when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid. And they were all like Billy Joel, James Taylor, Simon and Garfunkel, like,
yeah.
And they were, she bought them when they were newer. Like, I buy them now, but they're like vintage now.
Yeah.
They were contemporary at the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did talk about James Taylor last.
Yeah, that's why I like
one.
James Taylor, because my mom listened to it, so it reminds me of childhood, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, we ready to try it?
Yeah. If these kids treated my records the way I treated and my siblings treated my mom's records, they'd all be dead.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember, it wasn't me, and I don't remember who it was, but I remember somebody like taking one of my mom's records and just chucking it like a frisbee, and like it shattered. Like, if somebody did that to one of my records, they would die immediately.
Oh, shit. Yes. Like, I don't even touch your records.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
But, like, nobody had any respect for my mom's records. And
wow.
Now I'm like, oh my God, we were horrible. But at the time, like, whatever.
Weird.
I don't know.
Huh.
But I guess all kids are sociopaths.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm opening mine.
All right, let's try this.
I did give it the ASMR.
No,
right.
I did.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it smells like root beer.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
That is so good.
That tastes like root beer.
Yeah, it is a root beer. It's just root beer from a birch tree instead of a sarsaparilla.
Wait, root beer's from sarsaparilla?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did look up kind of the overview of this. So the overview, it says, birch beer is a carbonated soft drink that originated in the northeastern U.S. hundreds of years before Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
It's traditionally made from birch bark, sugar, yeast, and birch sap, and has a minty sweet taste with subtle notes of vanilla or cinnamon. The drink can be sweet or spicy and comes in varieties like red and white birch beer. Red birch beer has a fruity taste, while white birch beer is clear and more subtle. So I'm guessing we have red.
This is red. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't take a picture.
Beer is what you call it?
White birch beer is
clear.
Yeah, that's what it said. That's why I was like, oh, we must have the red.
Yeah.
Because of...
And it's depending on the birch tree, because there's red birch and white birch.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on what kind of tree, I guess, you get the two different.
Yeah, it says red birch has a fruity taste. I don't know if I'm getting any fruity. I'm getting vanilla and like spice.
I get a little bit of black licorice.
Mm-hmm.
Like just a subtle black licorice. And like some anise.
Star anise.
Yeah, and maybe like a little cinnamony kind of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not really fruity, but maybe compared to white.
Compared to white, it might be more fruity.
Which we'll have to do white at some point.
Well, we didn't know what color we got because it doesn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't say on it. And I was hoping for white, but I like red too.
The red is good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I'm getting that licorice. I feel like the licorice is very much an after flavor. Like when you breathe out, you taste it then.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I mean,
yeah, it's not like a strong.
No,
it's black.
It's not like you're eating black licorice. Yeah, it's a very subtle.
Yeah.
Black licorice-y flavor,
mm-hmm.
but I really don't mind it.
But I think most of the sodas that are made from trees have that kind of a little bit of like a spicy.
Mm-hmm. I just found a website that said an Appalachian white birch beer.
I wonder if that's alcoholic because it's a brewing company. That would be weird.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Is it?
Yep. But yeah, so it's in Pennsylvania. I mean, my phone's about to die, so I turned it off for now, or I stopped using it for now.
There's a bunch of companies that make root beers and birch beers and all kinds of, like, I wonder if there's a maple soda. That'd be good.
Ooh, a maple soda would be good.
Okay, so this is Appalachian white birch beer.
My bad.
Or as
Appalachian.
they would say in Pennsylvania, Appalachian.
Well, in Oklahoma, we also say Appalachian.
In Connecticut, we also say Appalachian. But
and then here, when you live here,
in
it's like
Appalachia.
Appalachia.
They say Appalachian.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be good.
I wonder if we can like order from them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can.
Because then we could just order the white one.
I mean, that's what I did with this one. I just ordered it off of Amazon.
Oh, this one? The Birch? Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought this one you got from the gas station along with the apple one.
No, the apple I got from the gas station. This one I just bought off of Amazon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we got another one coming from Amazon.
Oh, yeah, another soda.
This week sometime.
Yeah, so we're looking at stores. Like, whenever we go to a store, we look for interesting drinks.
You know where I was thinking today we should go? Is there's a Asian market on Lawrence Road by the mall. Yeah. We should go there and see what they got.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, because I bet you they got some crazy sodas and stuff.
Oh, I bet they do.
Yeah.
I'm up for some crazy sodas.
Yeah. Oh, so I saw on Facebook today two things. One, I'm pretty sure my dad made biscuits.
Your
They
dad?
didn't look like biscuits.
Oh.
They were weird shape.
Okay.
But usually if he's baking something, it's biscuits.
Oh.
And then I saw a thing my mom posted, and it actually made me think of another thing. So I screenshotted it.
Oh, yeah, that's what you screenshot earlier?
Yeah.
I watched him screenshot on his phone. I was like, what are you doing? He wouldn't tell me what it was.
Okay, so my mom posted a thing from the Sir David Attenborough's Nature, Animals, and something. I don't know. I've only got part of the title. But it's from something related to Sir David Attenborough.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
David Attenborough is like I think he's the guy that does the nature documentaries. Like the guy that's always talking about the animals. Like he's narrating what they're doing. I think that's him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not like Benedict Cumberbatch, who can't say penguin.
Right. Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah. But yeah. So she posted this thing about bees. And apparently, according to this, and I don't know if it's true, but it's a nice idea either way. In rural life in the olden times, they used to have a thing where they would tell the bees, and it was... So I'm going to read it word for word, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So it says, when somebody died, they told the bees, because if you didn't, they might leave or die of heartbreak too. In the quiet corners of rural life, an old tradition once buzzed softly beneath the surface, telling the bees. It was a custom rooted in respect, mystery, and an almost magical connection between humans and nature. Beekeepers in the 18th and 19th century Europe and America believed that the bees were not just insects, they were members of their families. Messengers between this world and the next, and like any family member, they deserved to be told when something significant happened. And it says, when a loved one died, got married, or even when a child was born.
You would tell the bees?
The head of the household, or more often the good wife, would walk solemnly to the hive, knock gently, and whisper the news. They'd say the name of the person who had passed or wed, and even drape the hives in black cloth during mourning. Why? Because the legend warned that if the bees were not told, they might fall ill, stop producing honey, abandon the hive, or worse, die. This wasn't just folklore, it reflected a powerful belief that bees could feel joy and sorrow, that they needed to be included in the life of the household. The practice likely finds its roots in Celtic mythology, where bees were seen as spiritual couriers, able to travel between the worlds of the living and the dead. Seeing a bee after someone passed away was interpreted as the soul in flight.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Some beekeepers even shared wedding cake or wine with their bees, inviting them to celebrate. It was a mutual relationship. If you respected them, they blessed you with the sweet honey and a thriving hive.
We'll have to mention that to my aunt.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And then that made me think of the expression, mind your own beeswax.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I wonder where that comes from. I wonder if that's related to
that saying.
Telling secrets to bees.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh. That would have been cool, though.
It would have been cool. But, so I looked that up too. And the Google
Drop the.
says that there's multiple possible origins, if you can imagine.
Of course.
Most related to the historical uses of beeswax and the need for attention to detail when working with it. So, there's the idea that it could be from sealing letters with beeswax.
Okay.
Like if you're a busybody and you want to know what's in the letter, you would have to break the beeswax, but because it's not yours, you have to mind your own beeswax. Yeah, I don't really buy into that one.
Okay.
So there's one with candle making, where American colonial women would stir wax over a kettle to make candles. And if they didn't pay attention, the wax or fire could burn their hair or clothing. So someone who let their concentration wander would be reminded to mind their own beeswax.
That sounds... Yeah.
I could buy that. There's one, I don't buy this one either, but it says beeswax as a skin cover-up. In the 1800s, women sometimes used beeswax to cover up facial blemishes like scars from smallpox. If someone got too close and noticed, the wearer might say, mind your own beeswax, or that's none of your beeswax. I don't buy that one.
No, because why would you...
point out specifically that you've covered your smallpox scars with beeswax.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, there's no reason to point that out.
And the one that I think is probably actually most likely is this one. It's slang for mind your own business. The phrase is thought to have evolved from a 1934 slang phrase, mind your own beeswax, which is a softened version of mind your own business. And I believe that because, like, in the 30s, they were all about, like, making things weird. Like, they were super into, like, Cockney rhyming slang kind of thing.
Cockney rhyming slang?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just checking.
Like the apples and pears as stairs. And
what?
Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah, but I've never heard of the apples, pears, and stairs.
Okay, so like if you wanted to tell somebody you were going upstairs, you might say, I'm going up the apples and pears.
Oh, like after a while, crocodile?
No. That's just a rhymey thing.
Oh.
But like Cockney rhyming slang, it was a way for poor people in London to code their language so that people in power wouldn't know what they were talking about.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
But I think that's similar, like because it was, the roaring 20s and 30s, and there was prohibition and people doing the Charleston and whatnot.
Flappers and
all
that.
It was all that like high-pitched, like they didn't have these kind of microphones that give you the deep, sexy voice like me.
Oh, is that what you think? You got a deep, sexy voice?
No, that's not what I think.
Oh.
That's what I know.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the morning.
Anyone.
I will.
Okay.
I'm going to ask your brother.
Yeah. He's going to be like, hell yeah, he does. I do too.
Oh, no, I'll ask Jacqueline.
Okay.
I kind of want to call her and be like, does your brother have a deep, sexy voice?
Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, what are you doing?
I was doing laundry.
Yeah. I have a question for you, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, does your brother Joe have a deep, sexy voice?
I don't know if I'm the best one to ask that to, because that's my brother, and that's just weird.
Exactly. We were talking about his voice, and
I said, ask anyone.
Yes.
You're
and
like,
so she goes, not your sister.
Or
well, so he goes, ask anyone, they'll say yes. And I was like, I'll ask your brother. He goes, hell yeah, he'll say yes because, he has one too. I was like, fine, I will ask Jacqueline.
I think the best person to answer this is you, because you are his girlfriend.
Yes.
So it depends on what you feel. And if you thought that when you first started talking to him.
Yes.
Which she did.
I did. I do still think he has a deep, sexy voice. But the fact that he brings it up and says that he has a deep, sexy voice makes me go, no, you don't.
It's okay for me to know what my strengths are.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think I can help with this one.
I know. I figured you'd be on kind of like, you would say, I figured I knew what you would say. That's why I was like, I'm gonna call her.
I know Joe has a deep voice. There we go.
Yep. He does.
That's too funny.
But yes, I just had to call. So thank you for calling me back.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Yep.
I like it. I don't think I'm the best person to answer this. It's like, this is why I called you.
Oh, we should have asked her if she remembers ever having Birch beer.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Well, my phone battery is probably...
Yeah. Yet another reason we should have called her on the thing.
My phone is dead.
Yeah.
my
It was
phone
just waiting to give up the ghost.
literally died. So good thing I hung up with her when I did. I do like this. It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think you can find it in local like grocery stores?
Possibly. The problem with buying local Birch beer, or Birch beer locally, I guess, is that it will likely be some sort of syrup.
So not like...
in carbonated water and not like an actual Birch beer.
Yeah.
So...
I get what you're saying.
It's possible you could find some, but there's not really birch trees around here. So it'd be hard to get the ingredients to make birch beer.
What are the trees that we have mostly around here?
Pine.
Oh.
We have a crap load of pine. There's a lot of hickory, oaks.
What are the ones that are around the apartment complex that break all the time?
Oh, those are Bradford pears.
I hate those.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll yank all those out and put dogwoods.
Dogwoods are so pretty.
Yeah.
Do they have the pink or white flowers?
I think they come in both. But white is typical of a dogwood.
Yeah. Yeah, those Bradford pears are just so bad.
Which is why people like Bradford pears, because they kind of are the same size as a dogwood, and they have white flowers.
Weren't they brought here because they were thought to not be invasive?
Yeah, they were planted as ornamental plants because they're supposed to be sterile.
Yeah, they're not
supposed to reproduce, but they do reproduce, and what they reproduce is not the same thing. Like, an ornamental Bradford pear doesn't have giant spikes on it. But when they reproduce and grow in the wild, they have spikes that are like 3 or 4 inches long and like strong enough to go through a tractor tire.
Shit.
Yeah. They're like brutal.
Those sound horrible.
Yeah. That's the problem with them.
Damn.
Yeah. So they just grow, like, if there's a field and there's Bradford pears near it, it'll drift over to that field and it'll take over the whole field given enough time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get rid of them because they got those giant spikes on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't like Bradford pears. They fuck with my allergies.
And they smell bad. They smell like
Yeah.
cat pee.
Yeah. Oh, so it was funny. So when we first moved into our first apartment together, it was on the second story, but our AC went out pretty quickly. We moved in August, and I think our AC went out in September.
It was before the end of August.
Yeah, it was.
And then for the entire month of September.
It was September, October, November.
Yeah.
That right?
I think so.
And then the next year, it was like April, May, something like that.
Yeah.
We've had AC issues with our previous apartment. Well, when we were out with our AC, we had our doors and windows just open.
Oh, I wonder if it was the Bradford pears.
Yeah.
Because it was the wrong time of year for those to bloom.
So I'm thinking, you think that smell we thought was the Bradford pears?
It was some plant, but I don't know.
Maybe
if
it was
Bradford pears.
Maybe the branch. Well, we thought our mattress topper smelled like cat pee.
Yeah.
Because it was hot, but we thought it smelled like cat pee, and we're trying to figure it out. So we ended up throwing it out.
Yeah.
And we bought a new one, but then it still smelled like cat pee.
Yeah, the brand new one. I was like, tell me this.
And we're like,
these dang cats peed on our brand new one.
And they didn't. It was, I think there's some sort of plant or something that was outside of our window.
Yeah.
Maybe that big bush, that big tree
big
bush thing.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know. It blooms with some white flowers as well, and they smell nice.
Smelled nice though.
Yeah,
so it probably is the Bradford pears. It's just not the blooms from them.
Maybe, I don't know, but we were so mad that
Yeah.
our new one smelled like it too. But then we realized that it was something outside.
Yeah.
And then finally they
Dang
got our AC fixed. And then the next year we had another AC issue. And then there was that one maintenance guy who only wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
God.
And then, they blew up the old unit by charging it wrong. Ended up having to put a whole new unit in.
Oh, yeah, like on the inside.
No, on the outside.
Oh, on the outside too. Yeah, and then they had to come do something on the inside.
They had to do the inside. That was the first time the blower quit. That's why they had to get it done before it got too cold.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have heat. And they don't technically have to provide AC, but they do have to provide heat.
Mm-hmm.
Legally.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had quite the...
Yeah, it was a mess. The whole company was...
It was bad. The first time
not on the ball.
We had to call the headquarters.
Yeah.
The headquarters office. And be like, look, we've been without AC for months.
Yeah.
Months. And we're getting into November. And I was like, it's gonna get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't even turn on our heat. They did finally get it fixed, but...
They did.
Took forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
and the people at the front office kept going, okay, we put in a work order.
Yeah.
And then nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happened.
And then turns out when we talked to the people at the head office, they were like, oh yeah, they're backed up months. Remember? And
Yeah.
they had to get the actual property manager on the phone.
Yeah.
We're like,
we had to call Columbia.
You have to get this fixed.
Yep.
And then it was like a week and it was done.
Yep. Because it's like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
it's stupid.
But, I mean, that's the kind of situation you deal with when you're dealing with a big property management company instead of, like, individual people.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
They can hide behind the fact that it's a big company.
Yeah. Well, and then when we were talking to the guy, when we were getting to our new apartment, we were talking, I don't remember how we got on the subject of it, but he said, oh yeah, that if anything happens to the AC or anything, let us know. We're very big on getting those fixed. And I just started laughing. And he just looked at me and I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, I don't mean to be laughing right now. I was like, but we had so many issues with our AC in the previous apartment. I was like, it was just like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Trying to get our AC and our AC would freeze over.
Yeah, constantly.
Constantly freeze over. So we'd have to like turn everything off, let it thaw.
Yeah, and then it would pour water.
Yep.
And then the water wasn't draining right and it was going into the neighbor's apartment downstairs. And
then they got mold.
Yeah. It was like a nonstop battle with that thing.
It was.
But now we're in a new place and so far the AC, I'm pretty sure it's a new unit outside.
I think so.
And seems to be running good.
Yeah, I was just... just a pain.
Yeah.
We smelled great. Actually, it really wasn't too horrible.
It wasn't bad because it just happened that it started being a problem right about the time the temperature started dropping.
Yeah.
Which worked out perfectly for them because it was cool enough where they couldn't get in trouble for not fixing the AC and not so cold that they got in trouble for not fixing the heat.
Yeah.
So they really walked the line on that one.
They did. And we had like these circulating fans. One in...
Yeah, for the windows.
Yeah, one in Violet's room, one in our room, and then we had a big box fan for the hallway. Not hallway, for the
door.
Sliding glass door.
Yeah.
Did we have 3 of those circulating fans or just 2?
2.
We didn't have one in one of the rooms because we didn't have Waylon with us at that time.
Well, most of the time we had them.
I think it was in the back room, both back rooms, in our room and then the third bedroom.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
But
it was just us there most of the time.
It
anyway,
was.
then.
Yeah.
So.
It just sucked because the sun at the end of the day would cook us.
Oh, yeah.
It would just come right into the apartment. It's nice because now our new apartment, we don't really deal with a lot of sun coming in. And it's really nice.
Yeah, when we originally got that apartment, this is a thing people don't think about, but we didn't even think about like what direction the windows faced or anything like that. In that particular apartment, one of the rooms got cooked all morning.
Yeah.
And then all the other rooms got cooked the entire rest of the day. There was no part of that apartment that wasn't in the sun at some point when the sun was up. So it's just like the corner of that was pointed just perfectly where it roasted everything all day.
Yep.
And then, so when we were picking this apartment, we actually drove around and looked at them different times a day.
Yep.
To see which ones had morning sun and
afternoon sun. And
so there was maybe 5 apartments that they had available, and this was the only one that they had that got morning sun only.
Yeah, this one was the one that had the sun that we wanted.
Yeah.
And it was also, it turned out to be on the 3rd floor, which is what we were aiming for. It does kind of suck to be on the...
insane.
Yes. But it does kind of suck being on the 3rd floor sometimes. But it's still, it was the one that that had the lighting that we wanted. And we're like, okay, that's it. That's the one we want. We literally went back to the office. They wrote down all the ones that were available. We walked around them. Like, we went, looked, found it. We're like, oh, okay, where's the sun? So, okay, yep. And then...
Yeah, and we were looking at, like, the compass in the truck to see.
Yeah, we even wrote it down on the paper
and
everything. Like, we really wanted to make sure that we were getting, like, the sun that we want.
Yeah.
And... yeah, we literally, then we went right back to the office and we're like, okay, we want this one.
Yeah.
And applied for it.
Well, because the other one we never thought about, and then once we were in there, we tried to sit on the porch, and you can't sit on the porch in the evenings because it's just like, you just go out and immediately you're sweating.
Yeah, you just roast.
Yeah. The only time it was good was in the winter.
Yeah.
But...
well, because it was cold.
Yeah.
And it was nice, though. We would sit on the patio occasionally when it was dark.
Yeah.
And we had our little lights and stuff, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, I'd like to get some lights for here, too.
Yeah. You could see your neighbor.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Here we're completely private. Nobody can see us, really.
I mean, if you're in the parking lot, you can look up and...
yeah, you can
kind of see us.
But
like, we can't look over at our neighbors and see them.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yes. I like that very much.
Yeah, me too. I like the privacy.
Yes. And it's nice because we'll sit out there in the evening sometimes and we'll play on our phones and just chit chat. Like tonight, Joe was grilling up some chicken. And also we hear the... we're like, what the heck is that? One of the tenants' kids was like ran to the trash can and back, but he's wearing like slides or flip-flops, or something.
Just full sprint
just
and slides.
Just running. I want to just go, run, Forrest, run.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I wanted to. And he did it twice.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because I'm like, why is he running? Like, he's in a hurry.
I guess he was just in the headspace he just wanted to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I don't blame him.
And then we walked around a little bit too, the apartment complex.
Yeah, we did. That was nice.
It was. We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long walk.
No, it wasn't far.
Maybe half a mile or something.
Something like that. But it was nice to get out.
Yeah.
And walk.
Yeah, and it was kind of like early evening. It was cooler out.
There was a nice breeze.
Yeah.
So we did go look at our old apartment because whenever they redo the apartments, they pull all the like appliances out onto the patio.
Yeah.
And our apartment, nothing yet. So we're like, okay, they're not redoing it yet.
Yeah, but they gave us till
June.
Beginning of June to vacate. So we vacated very early. And
we did.
So I'm thinking they're probably just waiting for that.
Probably.
They probably scheduled it for maybe a couple weeks after we had to be out.
Yeah. Well, literally, they gave us that letter, and within a week, we were applying for the apartment. We had the apartment.
Yeah, it was like, 3 weeks after?
Yeah, at least.
We were out and gone?
Yep, something like that. Like, we got that letter, we were...
yeah, we were quick
balls to the wall.
Oh, do you know where that expression comes from?
I do not.
It's from trains.
Trains?
I think it's trains.
Like, choo-choo?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because they had, or generators? Maybe generators. It's something that spins, but the things would, they had like 2 balls that would spin, and then, it was part of the like throttle system.
Mm-hmm.
So once the throttle was all the way open, the balls would touch the walls.
Oh.
And that would stop it from getting any more speed. So it was balls to the wall as fast as you can go.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't want to waste any time with like having to find somewhere else. We did spend a little time trying to look around in our area to see, but we didn't really find anything. But we were literally like, here's our letter. Okay. 3 weeks later, we're out of that apartment. We're into this one and we're good. And now we know that we are good and we don't have to worry about moving for a little while, which is really nice because, you know, as everybody knows, moving sucks ass.
Yeah, it does.
Especially when you're on the 3rd floor. Shout out to everybody who came and helped us. I think we've already thanked them a couple times, but thank you. Joe is currently looking up the balls to the wall.
Okay, so according to Google,
Okay. The Google.
some believe the phrase may have come from connections to old steam engines,
There's multiple?
Yeah.
Of course.
which is the one I know of, where the governor had steel balls that spun at higher speeds as the engine increased in power until it touched the wall, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, according to Google, it originates from aviation, specifically referring to throttle and mixture levers on aircraft, which often have ball-shaped grips. So you'd push the levers all the way forward.
Oh.
I don't buy that.
No, I like the other one better.
And I'll tell you why I don't buy that. Nobody refers to the instrument panel as a wall.
It's an instrument panel.
Yeah. So, I don't buy that. I think it's from steam engines.
I like the steam engines one better anyway.
Yeah. But, you know, AI and Google and all that, they're trying to write history and be the foremost expert on everything.
Yeah.
Like, just believe me, I'm AI. I know everything.
Yeah. But you don't.
I mean, I do, but AI
Well,
doesn't.
AI.
Yeah.
AI.
AI doesn't.
AI
Yeah.
doesn't.
No.
That's okay.
So, I think we've run the gamut on this one. We've talked about...
All kinds of things.
well, oddly, we started and ended with old idioms, so that's fun.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so it kind of went full circle,
Yeah.
sort of.
Ish.
But I think that'll probably do it for this one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
So, Birch beer, give it a try. Definitely recommend. We have a couple of cans left, so if you live in this area and you would like to come over and try Birch beer, I will sell you a can, $5.
Or you could just come hang and try a can.
Okay, so Danny's nicer than I am.
Which is surprising.
Also not true.
No.
We all know you're the mean
I'm
one.
the mean one. Joe, so this is, I know we said we were going to end it, but this is something that we always kind of giggle about and laugh. You look like the mean one.
Mm-hmm.
And I look like the super nice one.
Yeah.
But no, in all reality, I'm the mean one and Joe's the really nice one.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
just
tell
funny.
anybody, though. I got a rep to maintain.
Yes, he's so mean.
Super mean.
Yeah.
Make my grumpy face.
It's your RBF.
Yeah.
I need
it
to
is.
work on mine.
Yeah. You got to get better at it, and I got to get worse at it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, you know where to find us.
Yep. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Spotify.
Pandora. Not Pandora.
Not Pandora. iHeartRadio.
Yes. Podcast Addict.
Apple Podcasts.
Like, share, hit that subscribe button, guys.
And let us know if you know of some weird sodas that we should try.
Yes.
All right. See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.